So throughout tonight's session, we will be having some polls. I said everything will be a bit more data driven, right? So when I ask a question, it's not like, oh, half the class. Right? We actually have numbers to fill half the class. The first question that we ask is, just so that we know how this thing works. First question. Sorry, have anyone, did you guys manage to get into this page? In a convention, right, when half the people are like above 35 or 45, this page is very hard to reach out. But hopefully in a university setting, that's what things are. Okay? So what you would see, actually you wouldn't, I would see that 14% of you have used Slido before. Who is the 1%? 17% have used Slido before, and the rest haven't. So most of you haven't used Slido before, which is a lie, right? Because the moment you click here, then you actually use it already, right? Cool. So that's that. Everyone comfortable? We're going to have a couple of questions throughout the night, which we will play with. Cool. So let's get started. My name is Chan Leong. I am in digital marketing from Chan Property. Like a friend introduced, I spent most of my career very long, a few years in marketing and also IT. Right? My personal interest is in data, which is why actually it's the main reason why I'm in digital marketing. Right? Because in the business world, this is one of the places where you have a lot of data and you can get to interact with consumers. Right? Plus, you are literally at where the money is. So your performance is literally measured in dollars. Some quick background of what my parents think I do, like, oh, yeah, you go event, marketing, right? Which is probably true back in the days. Well, I think I go to fancy events, which is not true. My friends think I only go award because of Instagram story. They're like, oh, Janelle always at award dinners, right? Just take trophy, make post picture. Not true. My boss thinks I'm whole day like shooting or filming, which is not true, right? So the truth is, I hang out with Lois. That's why we are marketing, right? Not really. So unfortunately for digital marketers, we don't always get the limelight to be in front of events. We spend a lot of time behind the computer, calling our agencies, coordinating stuff. Right? So that's kind of the typical life of a marketer. So I will start tonight with a quick marketing 101. So how many of us here know about marketing? I can see a few hands. So I think this question is quite a stupid question, right? Everyone should know about marketing because you are the number one reason why marketing exists. Because you are consumers, right? The people who get con, right? That's why you are the consumers. So one of the greatest failure of a marketer is when you forget that you are marketing to people. Right? So you try to go super fancy, you try to go creative, you try to do all sorts of things, and then you forget that you're marketing to people. So it's very important that first rule of marketing, you are marketing for people. So your greatest asset, whether you have been in the marketing role or not, is the fact that you are human. So you look at it, if it doesn't resonate with you, you know it doesn't work. Right? If it resonates with you, you know it works for you. Right? Yeah. So to me, this is probably one of the greatest. Okay, a lot of you are very quiet. I hope you don't think this is a lecture. It's actually very interactive. And because it's only probably 20-ish people here, we can make it a lot more interactive. To me, this is a very good summary of marketing, right? Because you are providing a solution to a very specific problem where you are the most accessible at the time when someone needs it, right? So imagine you open, stupid idea, you open a tire shop and you puncture every tire around you. That's like your best catchment already because people who need to repair tire only have you as an option, right? So basically that's what marketing is. You're trying to show people a solution, you're trying to convince the market that you are the right solution, right? At the right price, right time, and the right person to do the job. That's the general statement. But a lot of times, people actually confuse marketing and advertising, right? So, what's advertising? Advertising is basically shouting about a product that you have. So the newspaper ad that you see, the YouTube commercial that you see, the sunsilk girl come out from swimming pool, swing hair, flip, all those are advertising, right? It's trying to sell you a product, right? But marketing is not just that. Advertising is a subset of marketing, but marketing is also about building a brand, right? We're going to go a bit into what is brand building. Marketing is also about product development. So one of the reasons why I mentioned, right, if you are not aware of the marketing role, you may underestimate who is a good marketer. You will think that the creative one, the one with flair, the one with very good writing skills, the one with very artistic skills are best marketers. True and not true, right? So those kind of skill sets are very, very important in advertising, where you need to appeal to a specific demographic, where you need to be pretty, where you need to show nice things and do attention-catching stuff, which we will see some later, right? But a lot of it is actually very technical, like designing a product. So the starting point of marketing is actually not when you have a product to sell. You don't take a product, pass it on to the marketer to sell. You bring the marketer into the room and develop a product together, right? So a marketer is essentially, from the company's point of view, the team, department, or person who really understands what the market wants or what the market needs, right? The one who's doing the actual product development, the one who's actually doing the building, is the one who has the best technical knowledge to build the product, right? So when you have someone who is good technically to build it, you also need to know what to build. And the marketing person or the marketing team is where you bring in the loop, right? When you have a product, you start selling, and you start to realize that, hey, it's not selling well enough. Half the problem is with the marketing. Wrong price, wrong place, wrong channel, wrong message, wrong creative, whatever, right? The other half could also be because of the wrong product, right? And that feedback needs to go somewhere, right? So if you launch today an unbreak, like super secured cyber truck where you cannot break the glass, right? And suddenly you throw in the demo, wow, mother, the glass break, right? We call that Tesla, right? But when that happens, someone needs to feedback to the product team that, hey brother, you say your glass cannot break. I threw on the stage and break it, right? So marketing should tell you that. Sometimes it's not so obvious. Sometimes it's all the way down to the consumer side. Your customers start using, they start complaining. Who deals with it? Your customer support, customer service, your customer feedback, which is all part of a marketing's job, right? So a big part of it is advertising. In fact, advertising is where you throw most of your money. That's why most people relate marketing and advertising very closely together, because that's where most of the money gets spent. In addition to advertising and brand building, there's also product, which is a very important part. Determining the price, which is also very complicated. That's where economists will come in. That's where people who understand numbers will come in, right? Market research, understanding your, not just your customer, but also your potential market size. Understanding who are the competitors you are dealing with, right? Customer support, relations, PR, and sales strategy. Those are all the different components inside marketing. So, so when it comes to brand building, I want you to take a look at how many of you have seen this video or TNG right video? Good. So I want you to take a look at this video. This video was done in 2017, right? So this is quite recent, 2 years ago. Pay attention to, like, be true to yourself. This is when you can zone off, right? Like I said, this is not a lecture hall, right? So, you know, like, the lecturers will probably get mad if you fall asleep in the class. Here you don't have to, because the moment you fall asleep, it tells me that this thing doesn't work, right? So I need to change the way I present. So take a look at this video, pay attention, because at the end of it, right, we're going to come back to this video.
Assalamualaikum, Mak.
Waalaikumsalam. Kamu nak balik bila? Raya dah dekat dah ni. Kamu nak buat cuti ke tidak?
Cuti, Mak. Tapi Aida tengah siap kerja lagi. Nanti dah siap Aida balik, ya?
Yelah. Ni, tunggu adik-adik kamu nak cakap dengan kamu.
Kak, jangan lupa beli baju macam Yuna tau. Apa nak baju lain macam Ramla tau?
Nak baju angkat kawan.
Aida, semua ni kena siap sebelum raya tau.
Aida,
Tiket. Ada tiket?
Baju kilat berkelip-kelip, bermacam warna, bermacam gaya. Hati sangat jadi hati suka, asalkan baju raya jangan diubah. Kak, jangan lupa beli baju macam kita kak. Apa nak baju raya macam kakak nak?
Kak Aida, mana baju yang kacau yang tengok?
Aida, kita dah sampai lah.
Mak, kakak dah balik.
Aida. Kenapa kamu nampak sedih, Aida?
Aida, tertinggal baju raya adik-adik, Mak.
Alah.
Tak apa semua tu. Yang penting kamu dapat balik beraya dengan kami. Kan? Kan?
Pulanglah kita beraya, meriahnya suasana. Selamat Hari Raya. Kak Aida, betul apa balik baju?
Aida, betul ke?
So that Raya video was one of the award-winning videos in 2017. Right? And like I said, that's a pretty decent new video. Right? So, how many of you actually remember seeing a TMB iklan like back in the days when you guys actually still watch TV? Like, probably not, right? So the first time you watch it, you probably get excited. You realize that it's very different from a commercial. But what product was that actually selling? Which part are they actually selling electric at? So you actually realize that they are not selling anything. What were they actually trying to do? Market themselves. Who are themselves? TNB, right? So all they're trying to do is just to build brand. They're trying to give you the impression that TNB is a strong Malaysian brand and really resonate with Hari Raya. So they are pushing this out, right? At the same time, you start to wonder, right? If they're trying to market TNB, where in the video do you actually see TNB? Sorry? Correct. Actually, you only saw TNB appear twice. I'm not sure whether you noticed or not. The first place where it's subtly appearing is when she's crying, rain, the tear like roll up, right? Behind her is a TNB substation. That's the only place in the whole video to see a TNB building or TNB association. The second thing that you see with TNB is at the end, when they do the end screen with like TNB bersamamu or whatever it is, right? Those are the only two places where the TNB logo comes out. So if they're trying to market themselves, right, Why don't they put more TNB logo everywhere? TNB related assets everywhere? And you will feel annoying when you're trying to sell you something. Right? We're going to talk a bit about that later. But why else do you think they don't have to?
Their brand is already big enough to like
Correct? Their brand is already big enough. But how do people know that it's TNB?
the logo.
No. The logo is correct, but not the logo in the video. So what we forgot, right? What you all forgot is how do you think people are going to watch this video? Oh, it's definitely not TV.
Tablet.
On their mobile screens or computer. The main distribution channel for that video was on social media, on digital channels. And when you are on YouTube, when you are on Facebook, what do you see in addition to that video? Oh, you guys forgot? Okay. Now open your Facebook again. Go, like literally take out your Facebook. Don't tell me you guys don't use Facebook. Instagram lah, okay, or TikTok or whatever you guys use nowadays. So scroll to any post or any promotion post. Can you find any ads? Okay, look at the ad. What's the first thing you see in the ad? The content, right? But what else do you see apart from the video or the post? You see the advertiser's logo. You see the advertiser's name, right? So TNB doesn't need to tell you throughout the whole video that it's TNB. Because when you look at YouTube, the channel icon is already TNB. On social media, on Facebook, the advertiser's logo is already TNB. So you really don't have to put like a very traditional persistent thumbnail here that shows you TNB, right? Because you don't have to anymore, right? So that video is about brand building. Later, we're going to go through 2 other videos, also for festive season, but one is going to show you a contrast in terms of how they do things. The other one is incorporating product into it. Right? So we'll take a look at those 2 in a bit. So when it comes to marketing, so actually when I'm interchanging digital marketing and marketing, because for the rest of today's session, every time you want to think about digital marketing, it's actually just marketing, right? Digital is just a channel. You can't do digital marketing very well if you don't do marketing, right? At the end of the day, you're trying to sell something. You're just choosing digital as a faster option to the market, right? So there are 3 things you need in marketing. Number 1 is customer segment. Especially in digital marketing, you need to have your customer segment, right? One of the reasons why customer segment is so important is because last time, how do people advertise last time? Before digital, take away digital, throw away digital. How do people advertise? Flyer, brochure, signboard, newspaper is a big one. What else? TV is very, very big. Radio, right? Out of all these channels, how can you differentiate your consumers? You cannot. In the whole TV, right? Every time I show an ad, the whole Malaysia watches it. I cannot say only show to guys, only show to girls. The best I can do, which wasn't even done, is to show different ad at different locations, which is done through cable TV in other countries, right? But in Malaysia, it's not. So if I play a 15-second ad on TV, everyone sees the same thing, right? So back then, the definition of consumer segment is very different. The definition of consumer segment is only translated in the message. For example, if you are selling, I'm trying to think of TV ads. I can only think of Sunsilk, I think it's different. If you are selling baby product, right? So, good question. When you're selling a milk powder, who's your consumer segment? Mother, right? Some people think baby, like brother, baby don't buy milk. So, mother is your main consumer segment. So, in TV world, how do they separate the consumer segment? They don't. I cannot target mothers only. So what they do? They don't target mothers. They appeal to mothers in their message, right? They make their message very appealing to mothers. So the father, brother, people who are not mothers, immediately they see the advertisement on TV. What do? Don't switch it off like you're watching your K-pop, K-drama at that point, right? The moment you see a mother ad, you will go walk to the toilet. Time to refill water, refill snacks, go pee, reply WhatsApp. You do everything else except watch the ad, right? So you're turning off everyone who you don't want to turn on anyway. So that's how they look at consumer segment. They make sure their message appeal to mothers. If you're a mother, when the ad plays, ideally, you'll be like, hey, I want to watch this. I want to know what's going on. Right? So that's why customer segment is important. I'll talk about message and channels in a bit, but if I remember my slides correctly, next one we should talk about customer segment. Okay. So when it comes to the modern world, remember, in the digital world, I can be very specific with how I serve the ad. I can literally say, this ad only shows to guys who are interested in Mercedes-Benz. I can also say that only show this ad to guys who are 18 to, sorry, from 24 to 30, 25 to 34 years old. Right? And don't show it to a girl. Never show it to a girl. Right? You can say things like that. I can also say very specific things. This alcohol brand don't serve to Muslims. Right? Or this Adidas, female Adidas wear, don't have to show the guys. Right? So because we can be so specific about targeting, it's not just gender, it's also interest. Right? That's why we need to be very specific how we have to understand our customer really, really well. Right? And you also have to understand that at the end of the day, you are having a representation of who your customer is. Okay? You'll go a lot better once we try out this exercise. So imagine now you're trying to sell a product that appeals to this women category. Right? She's modern, she has a very strong personality, she is very outgoing, cheerful, very independent, very feminine. She's a young millennial, she's very fun. Okay? Now take a second and imagine the kind of person that this appeals to. Think of a celebrity, think of a person that you know, think of a person that you're close with, think of someone that resonates with this personality. Right? Now as a marketeer, this is the person you want to market to. Okay? Now you're going to see a series of pictures. Let's see how close that picture is to what you have in your mental image. Right? Does she resonate with your mental? Does she resonate with the description? Cheerful, fun, outgoing, strong, feminine, independent. I see some head shaking, some head nodding. Okay? Don't know. Right. What about this picture? Does she give you that strong character, feminine, independent, fun, cheerful, outgoing, modern, young? Some head nodding. A lot still making up their mind, right? Fine. What about this? Right? Fun, sorry? Strong no. Okay? What about this? Sorry? And what about this one? Yes, no, maybe. So, if you go back to your Slido, let's do a quick poll. We're going to be using Slido for the rest of the night, so like keep your phone close to you. 1 second. Okay. Cool. So now you can start answering. If you are answering already, right, something is wrong. I haven't even tell you what is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So like, what are you pressing? This is 1. Why? Because more than half the room are engineers, so this is quadrant 1. If you ask a marketing class, this is going to be number 1 already. Right? But not because you all know math, right? So this is 1, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay? So make this engineering class. And then all press 1 only KO you. Okay, I don't know how many of you here, but I see very interesting results. Can you guys change your answer? Is that a thing to do? Oh, so if you press wrong, then change up. Okay? Okay. Made up your mind? So the answer is, you guys can't see the result, but the result is 60% of you, and increasing, thinks that this describes her, right? For the one. About 18% of you thinks that these two best represents her, right? And the remaining 4% thinks it's this. Nobody answered others. right? Nobody answer others. What do you think is the right answer? It's like, hey, channel, you motor. You just asked me to put a right answer on the phone. You know my right answer already, right? Okay, but how many of these? One of these four, right? How many of these were your mental image? None, right? So if imagine just now, remember I told you to picture a person with that actual persona. None of these come close to who you picture, who you have in mind, right? But if you look at the pictures, all four kind of represent the description, right? And this is why it's important for us to understand customer segments. Number one, how many of you agree that these four are somewhat similar? Very similar. Really? No one? How many of you think that all four are very, very different? Okay, good. I'm going to pick on the MC first, right? Now it's a chance to redeem. Pick any two that is the most different. Not the two you want to take home tonight, just the two that is the most different. And yeah, which two do you think is the most different?
I would say 1 and
Okay,
3.
good. I will agree with you. So how would you describe one?
Friendly, I think.
Okay, friendly, yeah.
But the third one will be more like happy, happy.
Okay. It's very like general. Who else want to try? Who else want to try? Who else want to try? Okay, ringgit. I heard she said ringgit. Pick two. Pick two that's most different. That is not the two that you pick. Don't pick the other two lah. Pick two that you actually think is different.
I think this is the first one and this one is the second one.
One and two?
Bottom right.
Okay, how would you describe one?
It's more maybe introvert,
Okay.
more quiet, shy.
Okay.
And
Number two?
more outgoing, like crazy girl like that.
Outgoing, crazy, fun. Cool. This side of the room. I need a volunteer. It's gonna take forever if you guys don't. Okay, everyone, touch your nose. You, slowly, it's you only. Take two.
I think it's the fourth one and the third one.
Okay, very good. Why? How would you describe number four? Number four?
I think it's kind of a crazy girl.
Correct.
Second one. And I think the third one is like more friendly and outgoing and more social, yeah.
It's more sociable, right? Let me give you an example here. So if I say, right, this girl got sass. Which picture am I talking about? Four. Immediately, right? Like, four. We all know it, right? We all know it. If you're trying to sell a thing, right, a lot of marketers would put all these four together, right? Because the description I used to describe the four in the previous slide was very, very vague. All four can seem friendly. All four have a strong character, right? Sass is a strong character. The women that's like contemplating life is a strong character. The wild woman is a strong, not wild, the crazy woman, music lover is a strong character. I mean, the fun social outgoing one is also a strong character, right? In fact, if you are a murderous serial killer, that's also a very strong character, right? But it's none of these pictures. So when it comes to your customer segment, it's very important that you define it to who it truly is. Another good example is if I say, I want to sell this product to male college students. Most of you here are going to be selling something, right? Or from what I understand, you are interested in selling something at some point, either this weekend or at some point in your life, hopefully, right? You want to target male college students. I'll make it even more specific. Just the Gina, right? Chinese college students. In the business world, you're thinking, yeah, okay, that's very specific already. I'm targeting Chinese college student, Chinese college male, which means it's a 4-year school, maybe 5 years more max. How different can they be? That's the first mistake when you're trying to define a customer segment. The moment you say a generic statement like college student, male college student, and you start asking how different can they be, you're really wrong already. Right? And I said Chinese some more. So take like ringgit again, sorry. And the cousin. Right? Literally same bloodline, you know. But they can't be any more different. Right? I'm very sure, but they all can see each other now, so they can complot. I'm very sure if I ask them to pick one, right, they are going to pick very different ones. So how can your product appeal to both of them at the same time? Right? It doesn't. But it's important for you to know, because how you craft that message when you want to sell to Y.E.S and you want to sell to, sorry, I don't know if you next. Sorry? Jiahui. I heard Wilston. I'm like, okay, I'll Will straight, your brother, is it? So when you sell to Jiahui and Y.E.S, it's very different how you want to message. Right? So that's on consumer segment. Remember, this is important because when you set up your ad, right, especially in the digital world, when you set up your targeting, because you can be precise, you need to know exactly who you're selling to. Reason number one. Reason number two is actually wastage. A lot of people think that when you go Facebook, it's one of the myths you're going to go through later, that everyone sees it. Right? When your product is on Facebook, actually not everyone sees it. The product that gets seen is the product with the most marketing budget behind it. The TNG Raya video, how much do you think they spend making that video? Take a guess.
1 million.
Yeah, I hope it's not 1 million, right? But it's easily 300, 500,000 just to produce that video, right? And think about how much it costs for them to advertise that on YouTube and Facebook. Easily another tens or hundreds of thousands, right? That's a huge marketing budget already in a Malaysian context, right? But yet, most of the people in the room have not even seen it, right? So it's not fair to say that I put on YouTube where everyone can see, I put on Facebook where everyone can see. Those are wrong assumptions, right? That's why, in order to make sure you are not wasting your impressions, you're not wasting when you are serving the ad, because each time you serve the ad, you are charged, right? Imagine, right? Example, I have Monash with me, right? Imagine I'm selling Monash. I come to you like, hey Monash, hey Monash, and then like, every time I do that, other Facebook come charge me with it, right? Like, hey Monash, Facebook will be like, pay. I go next, hey Monash, pay. You leave your browser open, you go toilet, hey Monash, pay. Right? It's wasting. So imagine I'm selling, literally a Monash logo to a bunch of people who never want to go to university. I'll be paying for those impressions, right? It's different in the newspaper world, it's different in the TV world. Because in the TV world, in the TV world, it doesn't matter. I buy one slot of TV advertising, it's the same price. Tak kisahlah, one person is seeing, 1 million people are seeing, it's the same price. Digital is not. So your best success rate is when you only show your ad to people who will want to buy. Your job as a digital marketer or as a marketer in general or business owner in general is to reduce wastage. If this customer segment is not going to buy, then don't show up, right? If this customer segment is very likely to buy, show more, right? At the end of the day, which will go up in the next slide, you will understand that when the customer buy, right, they never buy because they see your ad once. They buy because they see your brand consistently until they have a problem, right? One very good example or one very good social experiment we can do is, how many of you here can name an insect repellent brand? Insect repellent. Mosquito repellent? Insect repellent? Name one brand. Reset. No more. Okay, never mind. No more is fine. Reset. For those who answer reset, right? Have you ever had in the recent months or in the recent weeks, ever had a mosquito problem, insect problem? Have you ever used a reset recently? Yes, no? Some yes, some you also don't know the brand. So some yes, some no, right? But we all know reset. Most of you here probably have not even sprayed for quite some time already, but you know the brand reset, right? Let's ask, this is good. Let's ask the boys. Okay? So if you want to answer question, right, look at me. Okay, good. Since you look at me, try. Look at me. This is going to be awkward. I know he's recording. I hope it's not live though. Okay, name me one brand of women's sanitary pad. Contacts. Someone's comfort. Mother, these boys are very exposed. Very sure. The boys. Sorry, you guys are men, right? I'm the boy. So I'm sure most of the male in the room never had the problem. Have you ever? But you will know the brand, right? Similarly, you're not a girl, but similarly, imagine if you're a girl, right? You grow up to that age. When you actually do need it, what brand do you think you will buy? Either the brands that you know, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is you'll never buy a brand on your first exposure. In fact, for your first exposure, you probably won't even ever buy that brand if you've only been exposed one time. It takes multiple exposure for you to be able to say insect repellent, reset, right? One very easy one. All of you use this, probably different brands. Toothpaste. What's the brand that comes to mind? Colgate. But pretty sure most of you here don't use Colgate, right? Some use Dali. A lot of people are using Sensodyne. And God knows, okay, Lion King, there's one. But the brand will come to mind, right? So remember, when it comes to customer segment, you're reserving your impressions. Impression is another way of, imagine me taking an orange bottle, shoving it to their face. Number one, I shove to their face. That's like push marketing, right? You sit there and wait, I can't push to you. That's push marketing. The other one is inbound, which is basically search, right? When you have a problem, say what problem do you guys have? Imagine. Besides exam problem, then I can help you. Sorry?
Maybe problem of my
Okay, that sounds so weird though. I don't know, when you cannot find a girl, do you like go, okay, good point. When you cannot find a girl, right? What do you do? Good tips to find a girlfriend, right? Or like how to pick up knowledge. You will literally search, in today's world, there's only one inbound, unfortunately, which is search, right? Whether you search on Google Maps, search on Google, search wherever, right? There's a search. So when you search, it's called inbound. Those are inbound marketing, right? When you search, right, the brand don't have to spend money because you will find them. That's what you think. Actually, it's not true, right? Because when you search how to find a girl, you start to see ad, right? So all those are also paid advertising, but those are inbound, meaning you will come look for them. Whereas me pushing, those are push marketing. So coming back to the consumer segment, we are defining the consumer segments so that when I do my impressions or when I'm pushing it to your face, I'm only pushing it to the right people. I'm only showing it to the right people. But it's also very important, in addition to who to show the message to. For example, I'm holding contacts. Hey, contacts, brother, contacts. Oi, contacts. It's the wrong segment, right? But what is the right segment? I don't know. What do you want to buy? He's thinking condom. You know why? Right? Because you immediately like, must be sexual. No. Okay, what do you want to buy? Sneakers. Okay? Sneakers, the sneakers on your feet or the sneakers in your mouth? Okay. Say you want to buy sports shoes. Right? He wants to buy, right? It's the right product. I will show him sports shoe. Sports shoe. Okay, stupid question. What color is my sports shoe? In your mind, right? I say I'm holding a sports shoe. What color is the sports shoe? Blue. Some are black because you saw my shoe. Some say blue. But all of you have a color in mind, right? Confirm all of you have a color in mind. But that's quite what do you call that? It's quite personal now. But when I try to show him, right? Imagine what color of shoe you want. White. Pink. Okay, white. So he wants to buy a white sports shoe. I'm showing him a blue sports shoe. Hey, blue sports shoe. Worst is, I don't know why he wants to buy a sports shoe. Do you have a reason why you want to buy a sports shoe? Think about the reason. Let's say you actually want to buy a sports shoe. Think of a reason. Okay, then don't tell me. Think of a valid reason.
Based on
okay, and then keep it to yourself. Say I don't know that he wants to replace the old one, right? I will show him a new sports shoe, right? And I'll tell him all the benefit of the sports shoe. Hey, this one is springy, you know, walk leg don't pain, right? Your what do you call that? Your future level, you walk cannot find also, never mind, because your leg don't pain, man, and continue walking. So I'm assuming that he has a problem, that he needs to walk a lot, right? That he needs the sponginess or the softness of the shoe. But actually he doesn't care, he just wants to replace his old shoe, right? So his considering criteria might be just price. If you a cheap shoe, as long as white color, okay. Maybe it's brand, like I don't care why there's the value proposition, as long as Adidas I buy, as long as it's Nike I buy. Maybe it's that, but we all don't know that, right? So which comes to the second point. As a shoe seller, I reach the right consumer segment. Not only is he the right target market, he's even ready to buy, right? But I'm showing him the wrong message, right? So the second part you can get right is also message. The thing that comes together with message, and this is important because we are in the digital world, right? Is actually channels. How many of you here already have a business idea? You kind of have a plan of something you want to sell? Not yet? Okay. Most of you are here presumably because you want to learn about business and selling, right? Take a product that you recently bought, most recently bought. I say product, it applies to service. I say product because it's easier to see, right? You can actually imagine it. It can be shampoo, ke, shirt, ke. Hey, Singles Day was just over. China just hit another record. And do you guys know that for Singles Day, the single largest country that bought from China or Taobao, right, is which country? Hong Kong. Second country? Malaysia, no. So you guys contributed to China's economy, right? So on Singles Day, 11/11, what do you actually buy? So whatever product it is, people forget, right? Whatever product you have in mind, you found it through a very specific channel, right? That's why message and channel always come together, right? In your 11/11 shopping case, what's the channel? Shopee, Lazada, and e-commerce platform. That is a channel. Now think of yourself as an alternative to the product you just bought. I'll make it easier. Say you bought a cap. Say you bought a cap during Singles Day because you wanted a cap or branded cap, maybe an Adidas cap, white with blue stripe, right? You've always wanted it for the longest time. So Singles Day cheap, so you go buy. Now think of that seller's competitor. He also sell a white cap, blue stripe, Adidas original signed by Michael Jordan. Adidas wrong company, wrong endorsement. I also actually don't know who endorsed Adidas nowadays, but endorsed by whoever, right? Same price. Which one would you buy? The one with a signature. But that second seller doesn't exist on e-commerce. He's not in Shopee, he's not on Taobao, Lazada, whatever e-commerce platform. You will never be able to buy from him, right? Because he has a storefront in the middle of the pavilion. But on 11/11, you don't go to pavilion. So even though you are willing to pay for that particular product, you now cannot, and you won't even know. You won't even know that you couldn't buy. You won't even know that you miss out, right? Just because he's not on the right channel, right? That's why it's so important for you to understand channel. And at some point, right, you're gonna start selling something. So when you start selling something, you gotta understand where is your customer segment shopping or exploring, so you can look at the right channel. Actually, I can't remember my next slide, so let's hold the thought of it. So that's pretty much on message and channels. I want to give you a good example, right? So say you're McDonald's. McDonald's is good. You buy a billboard. You know what billboard is, right? The thing that you see on the bridge on the side of the road when you drive, right? Billboard. The marketing term of it is called out of home. I've never understood why they call it out of home, because technically a pokok is also out of home. But I'll call it billboard, right? If you're McDonald's trying to sell billboard, you are going to sell your brand. You are not going to very likely put a lunch set on the billboard, right? But on the digital space, it's a completely different ballgame. You can suddenly 7 a.m. only promote your breakfast set. So your message on Facebook at 7 a.m. is breakfast set. When it's closer to lunchtime, you're promoting lunch set. When it's closer to dinner time, you might be promoting delivery service, right? And the channel is the same, the message is different because the context is different, right? You can't do that on a billboard, granted, right? That's why these two always come together. Your channel decides what message you can show. What if you actually sell your breakfast set on a billboard? Big, giant billboard that shows you a scrumptious picture of breakfast set, and then it gives you the USP. Actually, McDonald's don't do this. Who likes to do this? KFC. It's KFC billboard, right? Big billboard KFC, show a price one. Right? They put $3.99 only. I don't know, $3.99 only. You know, breakfast set, 3 burgers, eat till you drop. Something similar. They'll put on the big billboard description of why it's delicious, price, right? And a small line of TNC. They can't take the same thing and put on Facebook because they'll be too wordy. They'll change it to a video content. They'll probably change it to a different picture or different message, shorter message. Because the channel is now different. The context is different, the channel is different, so your messaging, your message is also different. Okay? Any questions so far? Actually, this tree, right, is good enough to get you through most of the marketing range. So, at some point, you're going to be running your own business or helping someone run their business, or whatever it is, right? You're going to need to sell something. You're going to need to know how to reach out. This tree is the fundamentals of marketing. Literally, this is how you decide. Number one, you ask yourself, do I know who am I selling to? Whether it's a product or service. It doesn't have to be a person, it can be a company, right? You are selling machineries. You are targeting factory owners or engineers, right? But it's a specific market you're targeting. Do I know who my customer segment? Once I know my customer segment, do I know what I want to tell them? Am I saying that this machine is cheap? Am I saying that this machine is fast delivery, same day delivery? Or am I saying that the machine lasts long, forever, lasts 3 years, 30 years, 300 years? And then where am I telling him that? Is it in a brochure, in a flyer, in your website, somewhere, right? Where am I telling him that? So, being able to establish this tree, you will have, quote unquote, the details of your marketing plan. The only thing left is your go-to-market plan. When you combine this tree, put in a budget, put in a timeline, put in how you want to do it. That would be your whole, literally that's your marketing plan, right? That's why this tree is very important. It's very hard to teach budget because we don't have a new product here. Now, that's from one side, right? The other side of the story is actually consumer journey. So consumer journey is very important because at the end of the day, some marketers, or I guess most people think that people buy when they see your brand. It's one-to-one, right? I see your brand, you advertise, I buy, you advertise, I buy, you advertise, I buy. But we all know, don't kill the cat, no? But we all know it's not true, right? You don't buy every time you see the ad. There's a journey that you roughly will go through. So traditionally, there's only 4 stages, right? If you take a marketing degree, you take a marketing course, you will learn about IDA, right? IDA is AIDA. It's awareness, interest, desire, and I can't remember the last one. I think it's acquisition. Action, right? So first you find out about the product, you pick your interest, get desire to buy or purchase intent, and then you actually buy it. That's your action, right? This is slightly expanded, but it follows the same principle. Not even the latest one, but it's very good to explain that just like Reset or Colgate or Kotex, you can only buy if you're aware of it, right? I work in the property line, so when it comes to property, right, everyone wants to buy the best property, right? Say you meet a property guru, like a property sifu. You guys imagine you meet one and you have money, right? You will ask the sifu, hey brother, what is the best property to buy, right? what do you think he will tell you? The best property to buy? Sold out lah, brother, lately. So you can, my boss always say this, you can never buy the best property. You can never, like never. You can only buy the best property that you know of. And I would like to add, you can only buy the best property that you know of that is available. Because sometimes you can know about it, but it's sold out already. Right? So there's no such thing as buying the best in the world. It doesn't exist. That's why competitor exists. Right? At the same price point, say you're buying your sneakers or watch or clothing or whatever, right? Same price point, 200 ringgit for the thing. Whatever it is you're thinking. There's so many options out there. Do you think you're really buying the best product for the 200 ringgit? You're definitely not. You're only buying the best that you know of. Right? It's not even the most suitable to you or most fitted to you, You're just buying the one that's most suited to you that you know of. Right? So that's always a qualifier. That's why awareness is important. Right? You need to know about it before you can buy. So most brands forget about this. They straight away jump to purchase. Hey, buy me, hey, buy me, hey, buy me. Like, I don't know who you are, who buy. Right? So step one is very important. Awareness. It doesn't matter how you find out. You can find out from your friend because it appears in the movie, because you saw the ad. Whatever it is, right, you have to know it first. And then you need to have interest in the particular brand. So think example that is not so good. How many of you here knows about the what's the brand now? Volkswagen scandal, where they cheated on the emission? Some do, right? Say you now found out that Volkswagen has been a liar. They have been selling you cars that is not up to mark that they promised, right? Or they've been selling consumers specs that they don't deliver as per specs, right? They try to cheat on their exams. You are aware of them, right? You're aware of the brand. Are you interested in them? Probably not, right? So even though awareness is step one, you can know about it, but you don't know the right thing or you know the wrong thing, you're still not going to be interested. So you got to be interested in that particular brand, right? At the same time, you must also get your consumers to be interested in the particular service that you're providing, right? So think about Grab. Oh, sorry. Who came to Malaysia first, Grab or Uber? Uber. Actually, I don't think it's Uber. It's actually my car. But say people don't know about my car or the Grab in the back in the days, right? They only know about Uber. When Uber entered the market, the consumers have absolutely no interest in ride sharing. Right? They have no idea what it is. They can't use it because I have no idea what it is. Even people who are taking taxi, paying overpriced taxi, gonna harassed by taxi, still cannot use Uber because I have no idea what it is. So Uber has to educate the market to pick their interest. Say, hey, brother, don't go into a taxi, hot, hams up uncle, or charge you. But you can't use Uber, right? Another stranger, but preferably a much better looking stranger in a newer car that is cleaner than the taxi. It has to educate the market. How is that a valid service that you might be interested in? Only then you can want to use it, right? So interest has a lot to do with education. You gotta either educate them about your service, or you can tell them about the problem that they never knew they had, right? For example, when Musk keep pushing out business class ticket at half the price, right? Suddenly, you were never interested in sitting business class, or you've always had the impression that business class is way too expensive. Suddenly, when they tell you, hey, business class at the price of economy, are you gonna buy business? Suddenly you're interested, right? You don't know the price yet, right? So business to Singapore is the same price as economy to US, right? Most of the ad will people you like that, in one way or another. So suddenly you're interested, hey, how much? Maybe I don't even need to go to Singapore, but I will take business classes to fly to Singapore, right? But you won't be interested unless they make you interested, right? So one of it is education, the other one is also to create the interest in the market. Then, once you're interested, it comes to the consideration stage. At the consideration stage, that's the first time you see a real purchase intent, right? Digital marketing, in Google, they call it in-market. In-market means you are ready to pay for that product. You are in the market for that particular service or particular product, right? So from interest, you know about it, you kind of minat, you're not ready to spend. At the consideration, you are ready to spend, you want it now. Your tingkap pecah already, you need to fix your tingkap. Right, you saw an insect or you saw a cicak, you saw whatever, you need to spray, you need to go get, right? Or your girlfriend is running away, you need to use stickers. Whatever it is, that's when you're ready to spend, right? Then purchase is the easy part. Purchase is easier because nowadays there's so many ways to buy. But I'm gonna skip purchase and talk about retention and advocacy. So under retention, after you buy, you want to make sure that you keep that customer. And if you do a good job keeping your customer will become your word of mouth. They will advocate for your brand, right? So then the cycle continues. Okay? Understand this because as a marketeer, what you do to create awareness, to create interest, to encourage consideration, to push people to buy, keep people, and advocate is very different. For example, if you have a monthly email that you're sending out, here are all my latest offerings, here are my latest series, here are what the company has been up to. What phase is that? When do you do this kind of things? Take a guess. When do you tell people about your happenings, your latest launches, your latest series, your newest design? Those are at the retention stage. Because you can only talk to people you already know, right? What about promotion? Like, hey, 20% discount this weekend only. What stage is that? Purchase, right? Because at the purchase stage, imagine, right? Same message, same product, same brand, 20% discount this weekend only. 20% discount this weekend only. Do that at awareness stage. Are they going to buy? No, because the customer, the person you're showing to, has no intent to buy yet. They're not even considering that yet. So you tell them about discount, so no point, right? You don't need to tell them about discount. At that point, you don't need to tell them. You don't want to tell them about discount. What happens if you do the wrong thing? What happens if you actually tell them discount here? Right? Some brands do this. Some brands love to do this. Hey promo bro, hey promo bro, hey promo bro. Whatever it is they're selling, right? Until at this stage when you actually want to buy, what do you expect? You expect that you want to get a good promotion. And whatever price they're showing you, you want to see a cheaper price. Because in your mind, they position themselves as a brand that always gives you promotion. Right? So whatever price they put here, right, you want to see less. If there's no promotion, you confirm won't buy one. Because they've already positioned themselves as a brand that always has promotion. So if you buy without promotion, you think that you rugi already. And another thing to think about, right, is this is a consumer journey, you know. That means if I ask you, where is Nike today? Which stage is Nike today? The answer is not the right question. Because this is not a brand's journey. A brand doesn't go from A to Z. A consumer gets to A to Z. That means for your brand, for your particular brand or service, even if you're Nike, even if you're a startup, you have customers at this stage, you have customers at all the stages, including advocacy, right? So this is not a brand's journey, this is a customer journey. So as a customer, you are across, right? So back to the Adidas example, right? How many of you here know about Adidas? So as a group of consumers, you all already are aware. So you progress already. How many of you here actually like Adidas? That's when you break the line, right? Some love it, some don't, right? Some don't care, right? So this is a journey by individuals or by customer. So as a brand, you cannot just say, I want to do, or I want to only focus on here. But your customers haven't been matured to there yet, right? There are more customers who are not aware than the customers who are ready to buy. So you gotta push from here down the funnel, right? If you flip this around, it becomes a marketing funnel. Oh, sorry. How much time do I have? Oh, okay. So this is basically just a quick summary of what is evolve. At the awareness stage, you want your customers to know about your brand, products, or services. What the heck do you actually do? So if I tell you today, right, that the best tech startup in Malaysia is Kinex, sure. So what? I don't know what they are, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to sell. You need the best proof point, right? Interest is to get them interested, then the rest push it forward. Okay? So we're gonna stop for a quick break, and then how much time do we have? 5 minutes? 5 minutes? Sorry? Half an hour. What time is it now? Before 9. Okay, so we are gonna break for half an hour.
No. 5 minutes.
5 minutes? 10 minutes? Depending on what you hear, break for 5 or 10 minutes, then we'll be back here again. Summarizing consumer trend that I think is really interesting, but we're going to go through them fast. Right? So if you have any question, you can stop me later, or raise out your hand and we can go into detail about some of them. Otherwise, these are some of the current trend or upcoming trend that I think is interesting. So we're going to go to 7. The 7 is a combination of the 2 research people I found online, which I found to be quite true, and some of the personal anecdotes that are true as well. Right? So the first is leading with purpose. You see more and more brands out there in the market today, not just selling you because the product is damn good, not just selling you because the product is damn cheap, they're selling you because their product is sustainable, because the leader donates to charity, because you believe in their brand, right? They're starting to sell you emotional values more than just business value or practical value. Like one of my friends who sells medical, she's in medical sales, so she sells devices and stuff to doctors and all, right? I got probably one of my best sales quote ever, right, from her, and which basically is sum up to, if I quote her correctly, people buy with emotion and justify with reason, right? So if you love something, you will buy it because you love it. It's an emotional factor, and then you go and watch a bunch of YouTube videos to go and support why you love it and why you should buy it, right? But in your mind, you already bought it, right? This is why they go for it. One of the good examples is Tom's. Many of us in Malaysia probably haven't heard of it because it's not very popular here. But Tom's is a one for one. Tom sells shoes, practically like crappy shoes, but they're very popular because for every pair of Toms you buy, a kid in America gets a pair of shoes, right? It's a scam because the shoe they sent to America, they sent to Africa, actually wasn't really used, and there's like a lot of controversy behind it. But they were very successful because it gives consumer a purpose, thinking if I buy a pair of shoes from them, I'm actually helping the kids in Africa, right? So it's one example. Second one is this video, so I want to take a look at this video, which is pretty interesting.
Entry, proud sponsor of moms.
Okay, so that was another example of a brand leading by value. Right? It's not about the product, like you do shit what they sell. It's just appealing to the emotional value in you, which is we all love our moms. Second is, for most of the market today, you realize that people stopped selling you a product, they started selling you experiences, and this is where I want to focus a little bit more. So we know that Malaysians are now young and digital first, right? There are three things that I think the Malaysian, this is very pertinent, right? Malaysian youths are seeking for ownership, control, and new experiences. Right? I want you to relate some of this to yourself, because when this is presented, this was presented by I think Newson to a bunch of new marketeers, right? People who are like experts in the industry. But for most of us, hey, that's actually me, right? So you can probably relate very well, a lot better than the old people. So we see that personalized experience, Starbucks allow you to customize your name, Coca-Cola allow you to put your name, right? All these things actually not just for fun, people are actually willing to pay more for it, right? And because of the smartphone penetration, is you guys in general are a lot more accessible, right? And third, us as millennial consumers are more than just willing to experience, we are actually seeking them out. We literally are trying to seek out where's the fun stuff, where are the cool stuff, where are the new experiences, and you see a new one you want to try out, right? And not only are you experiencing it, you're more than likely, more than willing, and more than happier to share, right? Whatever the reasons behind it, right? Whatever psychological issues you have that makes you want to brag, secondary, right? The fact is, when there's a cool stuff, you will share it. Compared to your parents' generation, either they don't want or they cannot, right? But us, more than happy to share, leading to a rise in a lot of consumer data, which sort of gives power to you. So let's talk about experiences. Understand that experiences are not just a gimmick, right? Literally having good experience increases sales revenue, which means we are suckers for it, and we are actually paying premium for brands who are willing to give us that experience, right? Yeah. Across different countries, these are the percentage increase in revenue due to, these percentages, 89%, 74%, like all these high percentages are basically survey answers to when people ask, are you willing to pay more for a better experience, right? Because we are a generation of comfort. Here's an example where a brand actually uses experiences and combining very smartly online to offline.
E-Mart is the Walmart of Korea with 141 chain stores across the nation. However, E-Mart has a weakness. The sales during lunchtime decreased drastically. Mission: to increase sales during lunchtime from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Idea: give people a unique experience, only available during lunch hours. Install a shadow QR code using the sunlight and shadow, only available from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. This event is called Sunny Sale. How to: scan the shadow QR code from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Automatically skip to the Sunny Sale mobile homepage and enjoy special offers, including a $12 coupon. Purchase items on the E-Mart application, and they will be delivered directly to your home. Delighted to find small lunch surprises and enjoyed shopping via their smartphones. The Sunny Sale event, starting from 13 locations, has been expanded to 36 locations in Seoul. Result: over 12,000 coupons have been sold. In February, E-Mart membership increased by 58% from the previous month. A 25% increase in sales of E-Mart Mall during lunch hours, and media coverage on the Shadow QR code promotion over the past few months. Also, the most notable result of the Sunny Sale was that it made people sunny for the day. Sunny Day, Sunny Sale, Sunny eMart.
Right, there's another example where you would have eaten lunch anywhere, but because they had a, whether you call it gimmick or whether you call it acquisition campaign, it really drove people's behavior to actually spending more. And as a result, as a consumer, you probably don't spend more on your lunch. But as a brand, you see a lot more people willing to spend their dollar with you rather than with other brands, right? Is this sustainable? I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work again next year because I already know it, right? But that's analytic experience. The third is actually talking about chatbots and people's willingness to jump on voice, speak on voice chat, etc. I don't want to touch too much about it because I personally don't believe in it. It's just a trend that you want to be aware of. 4 is about working together. So in today's world, you see a lot more marketing options or businesses out there looking for crowdsourcing, a lot of co-creation, a lot of things that people do together, right? Because consumers, they understand, likes to feel empowered, right? So when you give them options to do together, they would, right? They'll bring their friend along, they would do things together. So there's a lot more success in crowdsourcing and sharing, right? That's why you see rise to co-working space, you see rise to co-living spaces, and like, I guess moving forward, you can start sharing Y.E.S at some point. Truth and transparency is very important. Brands used to hide behind this big brand image that, oh, I'm Coca-Cola, therefore I won't make a mistake. Right? Nowadays, it's never about that. It's all about being humble, being accountable for your decisions, and sharing truth and transparency. I think one good local example is actually Fit Gear. Not sure how many of you have heard of Fit Gear, but it's a local brand that basically does things like this, right? So they want to disrupt the market by telling people that, hey, it's not just about the price or profitability. As a business, I want to bring to you transparent pricing. Are they cheaper than the cheapest option in the market? Not necessarily, but they claim that I only make $3.50, right? So you're getting the most bang for your buck. They're trying to use truth and transparency to appeal to you. Another one is Netflix, right? How they use transparency. Probably my favorite video of tonight. That's crazy. How, and I think that's the biggest difference, right, between advertising and marketing, right? Think about it. If you are Netflix in their position, you are subjected to the same constraints. right? For most of the marketers that are shit lah, how to market this in Thai, brother. Censorship is so rigorous, right? But the same thing cannot happen in the States, right? Because there is no censorship, nobody gives a shit, right? You can air whatever you want and you won't get the same hype. So constraints actually give you opportunity to make a difference, right? And in this case, they're appealing to what the consumers want, which is truth, right? And we all know already that in Thailand, probably the sentiment is that they also hate censorship. They also don't like censorship, right? So they capitalize on it and really milk it. Number 6 is the analog antidote. I'm going to go past this as well, but I think you yourself probably experience this, right? When you see an ad selling to you staycation in Kuala Lumpur or take a break in wherever, right? That is encouraging you to get away from digital, right? And why would we call it either the digital fatigue or whatever it is? The point is people are looking to go back to nature. People want to look to get disconnected. So it's another thing that sells. Last is life on demand. So Netflix is a good example where you want to watch it whenever you want it, whatever you want it, right? Whenever you want, when you want it. So a lot more things are getting on demand. This wasn't English. This isn't English yet, but Amazon Prime is a good example where literally delivery is not good enough, right? People want same day delivery. Means I order in the morning, in the afternoon I want it, right? This is very likely to hit Malaysia soon. So businesses are actually fighting to make this happen. Another example is Boost, right? Cashback is not really a new concept. Your credit cards has always had a cashback option. Your bonus link card or whatever rewards system you have or you know of definitely has some element of cashback or reward. But it's not fast enough. You don't feel it, you don't see it. Right? So when Boost launched the market, literally the gratification is instant. You pay, you should see your cashback. Right? And that's another example of instant gratification or the now, the on demand, right? Also related to that is, remember at the start of the session today, we watched a video on TMB rider. Here's one from Petronas Chinese New Year, way back when you were probably a kid. So think about the video that you just watched and have a look at this video instead.
จากกูบอกว่าเดี๋ยวเลยพี่ไอ้
你等下，也冇應，也最啱做，我哋就冇驚時冇嘢嚟啊！
แล้วเนี่ยล่ะ我都咁講啊，一個大波一個走啊好啊，你係學識安怎？
伊啊，也冇應嘅，伊只不過生意啊，是做零子，伊等咱嘅政府啊，都有生意嚟哦。美國啊、香港啊，都有2分8勞動。我話嘢就咁樣生啦，我自己先做。
咁樣生啦，未歹啊。
好啊，伊話係結果，伊是 doctor 嚟嘅，荷蘭的呢 specialist 啊，後面 cardiology， 伊是搞判斷嘅，
係你搞？
是咧，你係走安怎？
我特別拍電話伊吼，伊真無閒嘅吼，伊若喺你會記樓做工吼，我就冇講佢啦。假出名嘅會記樓，我都唔知影叫佢名吼。就特別吼，伊一年內面賺咗差唔多450千哦。
是咯，我係驚，伊一刀開刀啊，會賺20千英鎊啊，一日會開2個啊。點解？叫你。我驚好啊，我驚係嚟載我了路。
載路？
是咯，今晚嘛，我特別去到路都愛帶你行哦。你再隨來哦。我驚來了，我驚，點樣走先啊？
馬好，
好啊。
馬人哋拉爛佢騎馬輪咯。
有冇人聽明未？
Right? So I think the only reason, how many of you have seen this ad? Okay, quite a few lah, right? Some still haven't. So the whole reason why I put this up, right, is remember that this was at the prime time of TV, right? Where TV was still the main consumed media. Whereas the TMB video that you saw just now was consumed mainly on digital devices. So if you look at the storyline, right, the TMB one had a lot of peaks, right? You laugh a lot more. you get excited a lot more. Almost every scene there's like a reason for you to smile, right? That cat in the spacesuit, the boss on the skateboard or whatever it is, right? Every few seconds, they must continue to re-engage you. Because if they don't, you're gonna swipe away, right? This is different. This is a time when you are gonna be pretty much captured in front of TV screen. So they don't have to, I don't have to work so hard to get your attention. I can be pretty certain that you will continue watching, right? So the punchline is still good, it's still a great video, but it doesn't need so many bait to keep you excited, right? And the main reason why, the main reason that contributed to these two is number one, the consumption is mainly on mobile, right? You can swipe away, you can change content, technically you can change channel also last time, right? But because of the mobile consumption, it's harder to get your attention, and you are a lot more impatient. We're going to run another quick experiment later to see how fast you lose attention. Second is, we mentioned, less attention span. So, go. Okay, so that was supposed to be 1 second. Obviously, you get to see a lot more than 1 second. Let's go to Slido. C555. Still going to C555. And let me do this. So we all saw the picture just now. You should see the question, right? The question should ask you, what do you see in the picture? So in the quick 1, 2, because of the technical glitch, maybe 3 seconds that you saw the picture, what do you actually see? Type in what you actually saw. What do you see in that picture? Can be colors, can be object, can be whatever, right? Okay, so for all those of you who missed it, one more time, huh? Okay, that's it. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. What the shit? Okay, whoever that's give me the plate number, right? We know? I don't even know if that's true. I need to double check. If it's the right plate number, if it's the right plate number, you all buy 40 tomorrow, okay? For mother, right? But cannot buy 40 because the plate number only got 3 numbers. Okay, so this is crazy. This is literally the results that you guys have been typing. The biggest, obviously the one with most is Volkswagen. And I'm very surprised. That most of you can spell Volkswagen wrongly at the same time. This is actually impressive. I need to screenshot this. So the biggest word that was there is, as you know, Volkswagen. Obviously, a lot of you see van and car or blue, right? And remember, that was only 3 seconds. A lot of the other stuff that you didn't see is what that you need to drop as a marketeer, right? If it's there to make it look good, fine. If it's there to say something, it's pointless because we all would have missed it. 3 seconds is a lot more time than you fairly give to all the other content when you're swiping on Instagram, when you're swiping on Facebook. So if you can't deliver the punch in less than a second, you've already lost them. Right? It doesn't matter what you say, or doesn't matter what your promotion is, doesn't matter what your product is. You can't capture the attention in 1 second, you've lost it. Right? You're gonna continue playing this game, but good thing is, you don't have to type out, right? Give you multiple choice. Is it? cannot give you multiple choice, but it's fine. But I'm too lazy to type. What brand did we all see? Huh? Oh, missed it already. Okay, how many saw a car? Yeah, some of you saw a car. How many who saw the car knows the brand? Right? So pretty much everyone who see the car know the brand, right? It was a Mercedes. Go to the next one. What brand was that? BMW. Right? What's this? BMW. Right? Like it takes just that. What brand was that? Nissan. Right? I expected most of you to not get it, but you guys were paying attention. But it was a bit harder to define than the previous one. This is probably the easiest, right? Because I lived there for so long, right? Blind. What's that? Apple, right? So that literally is what do you call that? Brand building. I can show you a lot of other brands that you wouldn't be able to do that with, right? Because the brands who didn't invest enough in building a brand for themselves, right? So you can look at them, you will never be able to recognize them. But very, very good brands will be able to do that. Another example of how, so when I say good brands, right, or good branding, it doesn't just mean that you use the same thing forever, right? For example, how many of you here can recognize the KFC logo? Right? You all recognize the KFC logo. So the boyfriend who can recognize through the girlfriend, champion. So how many of you actually noticed that the KFC logo has actually changed? Not just once, multiple times. Let me show you. Right? The KFC logo has actually changed multiple times since you were a baby, right? But in every single iteration, you can recognize the KFC logo. So it doesn't mean that you need to use the same logo like content everywhere, but you have to have some element of consistency. Most of you actually don't know this because you're probably too young. I probably remember that KFC actually is rebranded. They used to be called Kentucky Fried Chicken. They literally have to spell out Kentucky Fried Chicken for quite a big chunk of the history. Only recently they are called KFC, right? But people still, first of all, people don't notice the change. Second of all, from today onwards, maybe the kids who are born today, right, will never see Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know. They would only have seen KFC, right? The question that I have is like, when they come to work next time, right, 20 years later, will they know that it's called Kentucky Fried Chicken or not? I actually don't know. I think some of them actually may not know. So, okay, this is a nicer slide than what you saw earlier, because like, forget the daily working slides lah. So, a couple of key trends to highlight, right? Number one, mobile first world. A lot of you will consume a lot more content on mobile than you would on laptop, right? It's already happening, and you are sort of the testament of it. Second is rating and reviews. In today's world, what the brands say don't matter. Remember this because today you may be a consumer. The moment you start your business, you are actually the brand. Whatever you say don't matter anymore. Whatever your consumers, the public forum says, matters, right? So if you, how many of you are not from Semenyih? Hopefully everyone, right? Semenyih, nobody. End of the freaking world. So, for all of you who are not from around here, right? When you get here, you look for food. What do you type? So when you search on Google Maps, right? Food around Semenyih, like good food around Semenyih, like lunch in Semenyih, dinner in Semenyih, whatever you're searching for, what's the first thing you look for after you found the brand? The review. You want to make sure that it has a review, has a rating, has a 4-star, has something in there before you try it out, right? You don't go to the product website, right? The competitor probably don't even need a website. As long as it has good reviews, you will go, right? So it's changing to a world of ratings and reviews, which is why I didn't get to cover a lot of content marketing, influencer marketing. I didn't get to do a lot of that today, but that's sort of why one of the reasons why you see brands paying for influencers to review their product. right? You see tech bloggers getting free devices to say whatever they want about that, because they know consumers will trust the blogger a lot more than they will trust the brand, right? Which is why you also see a lot of lifestyle influencers getting sent on trips, getting free trial, getting like free shit, right? Because their followers will believe them rather than what the brand says, right? I'm gonna skip this video, but it's a bit funny lah. Or maybe I will skip it. That's it. Maybe I won't skip it. But right, that's such a clever execution. I'm going to play it again with sound. So this was actually featured on Facebook as one of the sort of smarter advertising video. At the short period, actually I don't know if this still applies today because I don't do that anymore. How many of you still play, still play video on silent? Like video still autoplay on silent on your phone? The ones with hands up, right, are those people who watch video during lecture? Right? So there was a short period of time where Facebook, by default, autoplays a video, which was annoying back then, but they autoplay silently, right? Because they notice that the video autoplay, and sometimes it's very inconvenient. You're in a meeting, you're in the toilet, whatever, right? The video autoplay, mother, so they actually made it autoplay silent. When they make it autoplay silent, suddenly people don't consume video with audio anymore, and you get so comfortable watching a video without audio, right? That's like mind-boggling. So ads had to adapt, right? And ads like this started coming up, where one of the best practices is that your ad has to make sense without audio. You cannot rely on sound to make people understand. Precisely because of this behavior, people play without sound, and it's very common. Not just people playing in lecture halls. People play in LRTs. People play in lift. People play on buses. People play in office lunches with colleagues. So it happens everywhere. So brands have to adapt, right? Now I'm not sure if this is still a valid trend, but another thing to point out is that because a lot of people still consume video without audio, subtitles are very important, right? When you have a video, make sure you have subtitles too. I don't have a reason for this being here, but this is a pretty interesting video. I'll cut it off when it gets too long. Oh, too bad. But take a look at Touch and Go video. That was a video that sort of combines product into branding. So that's a Raya video where they actually cleverly put in Touch and Go digital. Right? So take a look at the video when you're free tonight, asleep tonight. It's actually pretty fun. So the next one is also quite round of it. Some of the myths that we are definitely learning from tonight. Number one, a lot of people think that digital is cheap. It's not, right? The moment you start making the decision that digital is cheap, you're already setting yourself the wrong benchmark. Digital is not cheap, total, right? Digital is cheap to try, which means when you run a newspaper ad, it's about 20,000 per full page full color. One full page full color ad on the start is about 20-something thousand, right? It's very expensive to fail. You can only do it once, right? Whereas the same 20,000 allows you to fail multiple times. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, that's 200 times. So you would have 200 learning opportunities to find a working one. Once you find a working one, that's when you put most of your budget into it. So that 20,000, say you take 5,000 to test, 15,000 to win, right? It's not cheaper, it's still 20,000. It just means that you found a winning copy, winning combination, winning target audience, before you throw the rest of your money in, right? So digital, number one, digital is not cheap, it allows you to fail. Number two, digital is not cheap, but it's fast. You cannot go any faster than digital, right? Newspaper, at least 3 days booking in advance. You need to have a creative and everything ready. Same goes for radio, you need to have pre-recorded it much earlier. TV, impossible. Panggung wayang lagi impossible, right? So digital is not cheap, it's fast, right? And it allows you to fail. Second myth that we are tackling tonight is that, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but a lot of people have a misconception that AI equals to solution. We had a discussion over break just now where we wanted to let Facebook or Google auto find our audience, which is actually a thing, right? It's called auto targeting in Google or in Facebook. It's actually what do you call that? Auto placement or auto optimize. So both Google and Facebook and most of the other smart advertising platform has this thing called smart optimize or auto optimize, where they automatically optimize your combinations and serving for you. It's not always the smartest thing to do. So you always need to know that you can't just set everything to auto and let it run. Right? It's not a camera or a smartphone. Everything auto and auto record. 3, we all need the big D, right? Everyone is talking about it, but I think it's best code for big data, right? I literally presented this to my boss. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? So everyone is talking about big data, right? But most of the companies in Malaysia are not even close to doing it, right? So don't worry about big data. When people talk about big data, most of the time they're just talking about data, right? That said, you need some form of basis to your skills, to your marketing, to your performance, right? The difference between marketing and performance marketing is one is driven by data and results, the other is just driven by gut feel, right? So you need to know data. Number 4 is that good marketing can make people buy anything. This is somewhat true, but most of the time it's not quite true, right? If you don't need the product, you need the product. You can't fake your way through a product. It won't last. The inverse of that, the converse of that is that people think that if you have a damn good product, you don't need marketing, right? A lot of businessmen actually believe that. So, as part of my sort of my consulting or advisory role, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs who come to me after they've done this, right? They will say, "Oh, but my product damn good, ma. You solve the problem, right? It's so specific. No one else has it. No competitor. I win it." But they can't grow the business, right? Because they think if they have a good product, it automatically sells itself, right? And I say, F itself, right? Because if you don't tell anyone, nobody would know. Let's think Grab. Grab currently has no competitor, right? Grab dominates the market. They have a very simple value proposition, and they're making a lot of money, kind of, from the ride sharing. Why is that so? It's not because they are the only one, because my car exists, right? And my car's value proposition is that they are just like Grab, but cheaper. But why the heck does nobody use my car?
You don't really know about it.
Yeah, most people don't know about my car, so they cannot even use it, right? So good product can't just sell itself. I'm not saying that my car is good. I'm saying the value proposition is better than Grab, but you still need to market if you want to sell it. The second last myth is some marketing is better than no marketing. The conclusion is that some people think, right, hey, got do better than never do, right? It's not true. If you do it and do it badly, I don't have a case study, but if you do it and do it badly, you're actually robbing value from your brand, right? It's better to not do than to do a mediocre job, because people will remember you as mediocre. People will remember you as cheap, right? So it stops you from being able to position yourself better in the future. Last myth, I mentioned this earlier, right? People keep thinking, I put on Facebook, everyone can see. It's not true. If you have 100,000 followers on Facebook, you post something on your wall, how many people see it? Less than 100,000, right? Probably less than 20% of your followers will see it. So just because it's on Facebook doesn't mean it's everywhere. And then I ran out of time, so I didn't do a conclusion slide, but that's pretty much the sharing for tonight. So I think for most of you, you're going to be entrepreneurs in one way or another, right? A big part of the entrepreneurship, a apart from the financial knowledge, accounting knowledge, etc., is your ability to go to the market, right? So no matter how good your product is, at the end of the day, you need to be able to bring the product to the market. I think if there's anything to take away, it's the three things that I mentioned this morning. Start of the day, start of the night, right? Number one, know your consumer. Number two, understand your product USP, selling point, and the message. And number three, know how to maximize the channel that you are using to sell.